Hey guys, I just wanted to make a video, and I'm not recording this with my iPhone. This is my laptop webcam, so it's lower quality and stuff. But I've had this on my mind since yesterday. And by the way, I do have my fan running in the background. I've talked about this before, but my my bedroom, doesn't have a like a fan or much airflow in it, so I have to keep a fan going or else it gets really hot. Um, but anyway, so that's the noise in the background. Um, but some stuff happened yesterday, and I don't really want to talk about it specifically because I don't want to bring more, traffic to the situation or not. But I do kind of want to talk about a certain notion or something that I've observed about people and human beings and the way we tend to treat other people and look at situations and all these different things. And, maybe something that I say resonates with someone else or helps them, view things in a different way, then I then posting this is worth it, and making this video is worth it. Um, But before I say anything substantial, I just want to apologize in advance. I'm about to go to bed. I'm super tired, so if I drag on a little bit or I seem a little bit off, that's why. It's because I'm really tired. But like I said, I wanted to make this video while I do have an idea of what I want to say in my head, because I'm one of those people that if I don't say it, it leaves. It just goes. Um, So basically, this whole notion is the idea of judging someone um, for something they did, um, and kind of being too harsh about it, or um, rude or mean, or not really doing anything to like help the situation. You know that's kind of where I'm looking at all of this from. Um, so a situation did come out yesterday. Like I said, I don't want to say anything more than that. But um, I saw how people were reacting, and um, and I'll be honest, it won't take long for you to figure out what I'm talking about if you go to my own Twitter account. So, if you really want to know specifically what I'm talking about, if you are smart at all, you'll be able to go and figure it out. But like I said, in this video, I really don't want to say anything specific. But, when somebody makes a mistake, it's really easy for someone on the outside to judge and criticize and be mean and do all of these sorts of things, um, rather than, you know, be comforting or be there as a guide, you know. Um, so let's create a scenario um, to move forward with so that um, everyone can kind of follow along easier. Actually, let's come up with two scenarios. One scenario, one of an addict, and it doesn't really matter what kind, whether it's a sex addict, um, alcohol, drugs. It doesn't really matter. I mean, an addiction is an addiction, in my opinion. It all roots from the same place. Um, so an addict, and then the other scenario will be of someone that is unfaithful, like a husband who, is unfaithful to their wife. Um, so here's my here's my thing. Um, when you're dealing with an addict, it's really easy to blame them and to be angry at them and, you know, curse them out, just be ugly, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure there's a lot of scenarios and a lot of situations where feeling that way or being that way might even be, you know, uh, uh, fair. But you're not really fixing anything by doing that. You're not helping the situation. You're not helping the addict get better. You're not changing whatever the scenario is. You're just adding, flame to the fire. Um, so the best thing to either do is to either be there for that person if you care about them, or to walk away. But to do anything more than that, to say anything of of um, any length is the wrong move if you're not going to be understanding. Because if you're going to be saying anything from the standpoint of I'm angry or I'm upset, I don't understand, then you just need to leave. You just need to walk away because you're not helping the situation. Um, I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't understand. You know, um, so hold that thought on the whole addiction thing. And I'm gonna add this in as a little bit of a side note. It's my belief, um, because of research that I've done, because of things in my personal life, um, and such. Um, and that's all I'm gonna say on that. Um, that when it comes to sex and sexuality, um, and culture, especially American culture, we, um, I'm just gonna be honest, we have a really fucked up way of looking at it that is completely incorrect. And I'm not even adding, like, um, I'm not even adding like layers of like morality into that. Like, like if you're a Christian and what you believe as a Christian or whatever religion you are a part of or things like that. I'm just talking about base level when it comes to sex and the way we view it as a society here in America. It's fucked up. We do not have a healthy or good view of it, because we've all been taught certain things growing up and we just accept them without ever questioning them. And it creates a lot of really bad scenarios. But then you add the idea of morality onto it. And again, that's another layer, which creates even more complex situations. Um, when it comes to love and having sex with another person, assuming you're having sex with the person for love and not just, the pleasure of it, you know, which leads me into the scenario of the cheater. When people see a cheater, whether it's just one person and another person, or it's a married couple, or if it's a couple that has children, you add all of these different layers and you look at all of these different scenarios, and everybody has their own um, way of looking at it, you know. Um, on a base level, we look at this scenario and we automatically feel the need to um, villainize the cheater. But again, just like in the first scenario, that doesn't help anything. It's done is done, you know. If this person has cheated on their loved one, it's already happened. Whatever's done is done. Whatever situation that's happened that has created a break of trust within that marriage or relationship, it's already happened. So, you know, it's really easy to just get angry, you know, at someone who has cheated on someone else, you know. Um, and again, just like in the first scenario, it's not that the anger or disappointment or confusion or all these different emotions are not justified, or fair, but it's what you do with it. It's just like that old saying. It's like, you know, being angry is not a bad thing. It's what you do with that. If you're going around destroying things and punching things and doing all these different things when you're angry, that's not the right way to handle that. But the idea of being angry and of itself is not wrong. And we as a society need to start understanding that our words and the way we treat people matter, and that there are real people behind these situations. Um, and um, you know, I will bring it a little bit closer than I was intending to bringing it, but um, because this is where this all stems up from me. So a situation came up yesterday about, you know, uh, a famous person, you know, someone that I admire, someone that I look up to, somebody that over the past 3 or 4 years has been my main source of inspiration and has been a person that I can honestly say that I love. Never met the person. I mean, this person has, liked a few things that I've said on Twitter here and there, but I mean, I don't know him. He doesn't know me, you know, but stuff came out yesterday. And like I said, if you know about it, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then don't worry about it. Just hear me out on what I'm saying. Because I'm not ever going to use this person's name or who they are. This is a person that I very much look up to and care about. And I care about their family. And um, instead of, there was a video um, talking about it, and there were a lot of comments. And I decided to read a bunch of the comments, and that was me getting a text, BB-8, because I'm a Star Wars junkie. But anyways, um, so I saw a lot of the comments that were being said, and it pretty much was just a lot of different people saying the same thing, but in different ways, which was, wow, I can't believe such and such would do this. I can't believe this is happening. What a horrible person. I can't believe, you know, they would do this to, the person they loved, all those kinds of stuff. And with each passing and with each scroll, it got more vulgar and more nasty as it went. And I basically posted a comment saying, basically, we're all human and we all have different struggles. And we all have different struggles on different level. You know, um, it's really easy to vilify the person for what they did. But instead, this is the time that we need to make sure that this person understands that, you know, they have support, you know, because the worst thing you can do for someone who has a major struggle, um, or addiction, or um, character trait, or whatever you want to call it, whatever word you want to use, that the worst thing you can do is um, abandon them or create a sense of there's no way that I can succeed in getting better. I'm a failure. Um, because believe me, and I truly believe this about this specific person that I'm talking about, he's already beating himself up, you know, and he doesn't need anyone on the internet to remind him of that, you know. Um, when I basically said what I said at the beginning at the beginning, oh, excuse me, I got really bad indigestion. Um, I basically said what I said, a few minutes ago, which is it's so much easier to vilify the person and hate them and be angry at them than it is to love them and pray for them and be there for them or to do whatever you want to do. We live in a vindictive society where there's always got to be a villain. There can't ever just be a bunch of fucked up people, because that's really what it is. We are all a bunch of fucked up people, you know. And something else that I said at the end was it's really easy to point at somebody else and call someone else out for their crap, but you need to look at yourself first. Because it's really easy to say, well, Joe's got a problem with, alcohol, and, he doesn't need to be doing this, and blah, 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 blah. All the while, you're just as bad, if not worse, with drugs or pornography or whatever the case may be. Don't be so holden on vilifying everybody. No, believe me, there are gonna be situations that come along in life that deserve that. There are bad people out there that are just bad, and it's just that is that, and those people do deserve being vilified. And you telling your children that person's bad, don't go near them. There are people like that, but don't be so quick to judge a book by its cover. Don't be so quick to be mean. And if you're somebody like me who knows what I'm talking about or understands the idea of having a person that you look up to and this kind of a thing happen, I don't think we need to be afraid about, you know, uh, I still look up to him. I still look up to this person. And that ain't ever going to stop, regardless of what happens next, you know, because, you know, as a believer, as a Christian, and again, this channel is not meant for this. I'm just putting this out there. As a believer, as a Christian myself, I'm still, before I go to bed every night, I'm going to say a prayer for this individual. I'm still going to do whatever I feel necessary to help and aid the situation in whatever way I can, because it's that important, because this person and their family is important to me, you know, and yeah, the spouse in the situation, a lot of people are saying this, and I don't want to not say anything about this, it's like, yeah, even more than the person that's done the cheating, the spouse needs even more support, and don't forget that, because this person is innocent in the whole thing, and this person, who knows what's going on in their mind, and I send my love out to this person just as much as the other, if not more. But you don't have to choose one over the other. You can choose to be there for both of them, and you can choose to pray for both of them and to send well wishes in both their ways, and thoughts and prayers, and all that kind of stuff. But again, we live in such a vindictive, angry culture. It just it's no wonder that we have a president that we have. It's no wonder that our country has gotten to the place that we've gotten when we have such angry, mean, vindictive assholes living around us. We're never going to get any better as a culture. These, to branch off into a little bit of a rant, of course, we still have issues of race and all these different things because people don't know how to just bury the hatchet and just fucking let people live their lives and just treat each other with love and kindness and humility and it's like I said before, yeah, you know what? Of all races, of all backgrounds, you're gonna have people that are just the villains, that are just the bad guys that and deserve every bit of what's coming to them. And we all know that. But not everybody's that way. And you can't just because though there are those bad apples out there, it doesn't have to be one of the situations where everybody gets treated like a bad apple because of the bad apples. You know, I'm someone who, like, let me tell you, and this is something that I never thought that I would ever put out on the internet, but I have been betrayed and hurt all through my life by people. People that I thought I could trust, telling the most sensitive, personal details of my life, and I've had it spread like a wildfire, people knowing things that I never intended because I had moments of weakness and I had moments where I needed a friend and I thought I could trust certain people and I couldn't, and it backfired, but I am still, even with being betrayed over and over and over again in different situations, I still choose to see the best in people and I still choose to believe in people because if you view people with so much angst and hate and anger, it's it's not only unhealthy for society, but it's unhealthy for you because you can't live life that way. It's not good, you know. And I know again, that also doesn't mean don't put yourself in stupid situations and don't, just be, lackadaisical about everything. But I mean, but you know, I got really hurt and angry, more angry than I've been at almost anything recently. Um, because it was one of those things where it's like this particular person that the story came out about is literally someone that I have not seen very much hate towards or anything like that. I mean, a family that everybody loves and one thing happens, one thing comes out and like that everybody turns. Everybody vilifies. Everybody begins to hate. And it's like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? It's like this is somebody that you could have been watching for, you know, 6 years and you're willing to turn your back on this person like that. It's like I think that says more about you as the viewer than it does about the person committing the the act. And that's really all I gotta say. It's like, you know, I'm choosing to be the way that I am being, not because, you know, the the person receiving my decision necessarily deserves it or anything like that. But I'm doing it because of what it does to my soul and what it does to me as a person. I choose to see the best in people. And you know what? If every time in my life I fell down, the people around me just shoved me to the ground, I wouldn't still be sitting here. I wouldn't still be standing here where I am today. I've fallen down a lot, and I think the same could be said about anyone, you know. When you see someone fall, you don't kick them to the ground. You offer your hand and you pick them back up because we're all running the same race. And we the only way we finish the race, the only way we succeed is if we do it together.